I think that we are all set. Like, wonderful. I hope you're having a good day, evening, good morning, good night, whatever it is. I hope that you're doing all right. I am going to try to just scratch a little itch. There's this concept that I haven't found anything better around how to like get your workloads to production. It's not just about like, hey, we can build these great apps and they can be production ready, but we have to get them to production. And my good friends, Josh and newly crowned Java champion Marcin, they did a course, and I'm going to try to find it. Continuous delivery, maybe cloud native. Josh Long Marcin. Applied continuous delivery. This is the one. If you get a chance, this is from 2017, but I promise you, and I've shared this with customers and friends, I promise you that this series over here on O'Reilly Learning, this series is still top notch. Things have definitely progressed since, but the concepts, the things, the truth in here is still 100% valid. And one of the things, and I don't know if it was called out in here, but one of the things that was kind of done. Oh yeah, here it is. Built on Spring Cloud pipelines. This idea of having like a well-defined. This is how we get things to production. We've taken similar to Spring Modulith, where we've taken these best practices from teams, from orgs across the globe, and we kind of pulled it into this concept where there's like a predefined best practice. That's what a lot of this Spring is like. We take patterns from the ecosystem and we pull in these products. This one, unfortunately, is not maintained, right? It's for some reason that's highly above my pay grade, but I still love this project, and I love it for all the things that it's done for me in the past, and the concepts. The concepts are still true. The things that are in here are still true, and there's a few things that I really like about it. So the first one is I liked how I can go into a GitHub org, and this will be kind of the proof. This is what we're trying to get to. I like to line things up. Org. What did I do? Oh, it's not org. So a lot of the stuff that I stream is here, and I have these repositories, and these repositories are just code. There's no real, actually there is. There's a definition of what that architecture, the deployment stuff looks like. But I'd like to revisit that and see if I can come up with something different. I can still use these, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's jump back. I have a bunch of applications, microservices. And these are microservices that belong to this org, this application, as part of a bigger application portfolio, if you will. And this is a common thing. And what I want is, I want to know that all of my applications are being built in a way that's compatible with the platform that's being run in my organization, whatever that may be. And one of the things that Spring Cloud Pipelines offered, one of the cool little tools that it offered was this pipeline crawler. It was a little job that would go in and crawl the different orgs that were being supported, and it would look through those orgs and say, oh, I see that you've got a Spring Boot Java application. I know how to build those. And then it would create a pipeline for the Spring Boot Java applications based on all the best practices. And this is wonderful, so that as applications come and go, the Git repository still remains the source of truth. And to have something that's adding and removing pipelines in a centralized location, that's really valuable. And I like that because I've seen what I call Jenkins sprawl, where these tools are, every team has a Jenkins engineer and they have their own pipelines and their own things that they're doing. And inside of the big organization, there's multiple versions of a pipeline for a Spring Boot Java app. But the deltas, right? Even though we're all building Spring Boot Java apps, they're not all being delivered in the same way. And if we are an organization that needs to have some consistency, or we're a platform team that wants to make sure that things are being delivered in the same way, centralized CE is a big part of what we need to do. And I like this tool, Concourse. I put Concourse here for this stream, in the stream only. It may exist somewhere else. But I stood up Concourse, and I've selected to use GitHub authentication, so I can log in, and yeah, and we're all set. So this is good. I'm up, I'm running, I have a Concourse. One of the other cool things that the Spring Cloud pipelines did, it had kind of these best practices. This is the way that you should build things. It did another really cool thing, and this is something that you learned here as well. It's clean up behind yourself. I'm going to slide this over. We all have this, dev test or whatever. One of the features, one of the things, and we're going to say dev test stage prod, or whatever your blend is, right? And one of the things, and I don't know if it was spelled out explicitly in there, but it's something that I took from it, is like, I have an API for my platform. Today we're just gonna say it's Kubernetes or Cloud Foundry. I can go and I can create a dev environment for, let's say, JavaGrunt.com, right? This is my org JavaGrunt.com. In Kubernetes, I can go, I see that, hey, there's a new commit. I want to go and build stuff. In any one of these repositories, there's a new thing. I'm going to go build the clean checker. What a pipeline might look like is unit test, then integration test. And in my unit test, maybe that gets ran in this dev environment. Hey, go do the things, and it's good. For my integration test, I want to integrate with all of the other applications, and I have options. I want to stand up maybe my databases. I can use test containers, and I can do this, right? I can do that here. I can have like one level of integration test, and then here, maybe this is my end E2E test, E2E, right? Where databases, the other services, etc. Test containers, great. I can do that. I can stand it up and I can say, hey, this application connects to this database, and I want to make sure that it's interacting with that backend as it's supposed to. My integration tests. I can do all that at one point in my pipeline, but later I want to deploy my changes along with all the other things, all of the other services. I want to make sure that the interactions between all the services work, and I have options. One of the options is Spring Cloud Contracts. I can do this, make sure that the contract between these two services is still met. And I can do that. And actually, I think I can do the Spring Cloud Contracts. I can do that over here. And I have to revisit, right? I don't have all this in my head, but there's different places where we can do different things. But one of the things that I can do is I can actually deploy the other services. And I don't have to have these things running 24/7. As a part of my pipeline, I can stand up a new namespace, or in namespace in Kubernetes, or space in Cloud Foundry. These concepts are real. As I'm going through, if I have code that's on its way to production, sweet, these environments will stand up, and they can stand up for some set amount of time. But after that, they'll expire. Right? Because if I'm not building anything, if I'm not taking anything into production, why do I have all of these other environments? Let's make those, different color. They don't need to be up 24/7. This concept of clean up behind yourself. I'm going to go back to black here. Cleaning behind this. This is a valuable concept. And some of you understand that at scale, you have Jenkins sprawl, you've got Jenkins clusters all over the place, and you're running into these problems. And even on your platforms, right? When you say, oh, I can run these 16 repositories, I can run those 15 applications, I can run them on a Raspberry Pi, they'll be fine. But you have to then have those environments up for all the different environments that you're running. And one of the things that I want you to understand is I don't believe in that. I'm not a big fan of having a test environment that's up 24/7 when we're not delivering code. I'm not a fan because I care about money. I don't like wasting money. That's the bottom line. But also I care about the benefits that I get from standing up these environments and tearing them down. That practice helps me in production, helps me when my prod isn't just one prod, when there is more than one, because I have practice in standing up and tearing down environments. I can do that in production. I can expand. It's another muscle that I want to exercise. So what I'm going to do today is I want to dig in. One of the concepts that came with Spring Cloud Pipelines is there's this image. There was a Spring Cloud Pipelines. I don't know what it's called. It was the resource. It was a Docker image. And this is one of the other things I know is that Docker image, if I go and grab it, it's using an old version of Ubuntu or BusyBox or whatever, but it pulled in a bunch of tools that were necessary. And let's go take a look. It's not there. Yeah, it had a bunch of tools. It's outdated. So what I'm going to do, the itch that I want to scratch today is as a pipeline, as a Concourse pipeline, I want to build the resource image that will get used in the pipelines. Spring Cloud Pipelines. And this will be a benefit. This will allow me to stay a little bit current and I can keep up with the updates. I can live that in -0 life and -0. And even with the CrowdStrike incident of not too long ago, I'm still going to live that in -0 life. I'm going to make sure that my path to production supports the N-0 life in a way that I can roll back. That's it. That's okay. So you heard the beep in my ear. I just want to make sure that I'm not ignoring anybody from work. And it looks like we are okay. All right. So this is what I want to do. This is the itch I want to scratch. So first thing I have to do is find that image. Was it in here? No. Let's look for Docker file. There's the Jenkins Docker file, Concourse, Docker Compose, Docker file artifactory. Where is the let's go look here. Not that one. Let's go look at the pipelines. Let's go look here. All right, so in here, let's see if we have that information. So what Spring Cloud Pipelines did, it had a bunch of the tools, the stuff that gave you a really good example that you could take it out of the box and build beautiful pipelines that worked and had these best practices in it and had all of the hooks and the places in place for you to do these advanced strategies. They were all included. And it had this tooling that was built in, and a lot of it was Bash. And I just for years I've been wanting to revisit this and bring it up. So here we are. I want to find. I'm still trying to find. Let's go look in here. I'm trying to find where is that image that I want to build. And maybe it's a resource. Nope. I'll get there. Bear with me. This is the itch that I want to scratch today. And I just thought, why not do it with all of you? Build Grada, build helper, deploy infra, Kate's helper. Shell check, bats. No. See, the easy thing would be to just reach out, but Marcin he's busy, and he's doing amazing work. This is secondary, and I just have to dig back in. So last week I spent time like refreshing my muscle memory with Concourse. And this week I'm gonna dig in and I'm gonna refresh my memory with Springfield Pipelines, and we're gonna see if we can do a little bit more. So here's the projects. These are the examples. Artifactory. Oh, that's where it deploys. Let's go. There's got to be a. I don't remember the name of the image. No. It says if you're using some other image with Docker, change these lines. Docker lib. Root repo resource folder tools resource number. Let's see if we can find this Docker lib. Docker. Was it dash lib.sh? Where? Where is this coming from? The tools resource. We will figure it out. So it doesn't appear to be coming from here. So then it's going to be in one of the resources, and a Docker. Do I have any of that here? Let's see if we can pull up some helpers here. Right, this is some other stuff. I built some tasks, and those tasks say like, hey, here's my resource time. So let's look for source repository. Let's look for image, right? And maybe we'll find that image concourse dot artifactory quick. No. If you're using some other image, publishing background. No. That didn't help. That's too easy. Too many. Maybe let's do it this way. Let's look for resources. Can I do it in this? Nope. We only want to look in YAML resources. There's Docker in Docker. Okay. No. I'm trying to find the reference to that Docker image that was built. Here's the resources. Git repo. The tools. I think it's the tools. The URI is the tools scripts URL. It's that. So where's the tools scripts? So maybe that is another repository here. Tools scripts URL. Tools scripts. Here we go. Oh. Tools scripts URL. That's the tools. Okay, so let me go back. That wasn't where I thought I was going to go. Tools, git repo. I need the image. Okay, I was just the queue adoc build. Resources. No. Right? I was here. And I said, hey, that's getting me closer. I have these resources. That it's a get, this is a get, this is a get. This is the one. Wait, no. I am positive. Oh, here we go. Is this it? The tools, concourse, tasks, build and upload task. So this is it. So this is already, see, I'm not smart. Martin already has this. Build and upload the task.yaml. And this builds all of those tasks, builds all the things. So let's go back here. Where was it? It was in, ooh, I just missed it. Here. Concourse tasks, build and upload task.yaml. I didn't even need to do anything. Build, and upload. Build and upload. Let's go back to this one. So here we're going to bring in tools, we're going to repo, we're going to bring this key val, outputs out in key val, caches, and it's going to do this build and upload task.sh. So there's the file that has all the stuff. I think that was the first place that I was at. So this is the shell script that is building those tasks. All right, so let's dig in here. If you're using other image, Docker, change these lines, building and upload the project artifacts, find the latest prod tag, first running API compatibility check, so that when we commit and upload it at the end is just build project. Build API compatible. Okay, running the build and upload script. Build and upload. Build and upload. Message. Build and upload. That's not it. In the output folder. All right, so it's pulling that in. All right, so what I should do is I should get these up and running. I should get the previously existing Sprinkle pipelines. I should get those up and running. Then it'll be a little bit easier to find these things, which makes a lot of sense. But I was, in my head, I was certain that there was, and maybe it's something that I did, is I was certain that there was a Docker image that was being built. Let's do this. Done. And keep going. All right, so that's the idea. What I'm trying to do here, oops. That's the idea. What I'm trying to do here is I want to have this automation for pipelines, and I want to have a tool that knows how to build and run all the things, but I want to create a pipeline for that task as well. And I think what I'm finding here is that maybe Marcin is on top of this already. So let's do this. Let's maybe just step through. Let's deploy that. This is going to be boring, but I'm still committed to using Concourse because it's visual, and some of the cool things that we need to do now is it's not just about building and delivering code. One of the new pieces that we have to do today is we have to maintain our code. So what I would like to do is I would like to have some automation in place that keeps my code fresh, does all of the updates beyond the Pandabot. And I've seen pipelines with the Pandabot things in it, but there's more, right? I'm a big fan of open rewrite as a framework, and we are in good shape. So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So let's see if we can get some of these up and running. If you want to run the demo as far as possible using PCFDev and Docker Compose, cool. Let's do this. Let's just walk through. So the idea is fork the repos, and I think I already have a fork of the repos. GitHub.com, Sean. So that is the steps. And I think I have a Spring Cloud Pipelines Remix, right? I did that back in May. Again, this is something, and there's been dozens of this. So let's just walk through. Let's just go through and we'll see what we can do. So this is the Concourse steps. Fork the repos. We did that, start Concourse and Artifactory. All right, so we did this. See the Concourse, I can set up a Docker Compose. In the Spring Cloud Pipelines Concourse. Script should be run only once, allow generation of keys. This parameter is an example of external URL for Concourse. Equal to the Docker machine IP. So what's in here? Let's go take a look. Let's have some fun. Let's do some things so I can get my head right. CD fun, Sean, and we're gonna GitHub repo clone Spring Cloud Cloud Pipelines Remix. Spring Cloud Pipelines Remix. Was already there. So I have a Spring Cloud Pipelines release. Says 1.0.0. Okay. And let's keep on going. I did that. Let's go into Concourse. And this says set up Docker Compose. Let's take a look at that. Let's jump in here. Let's see what we got. Again, I'm a big fan of this. It's been a while. We're just flexing our muscles again. Docker is awesome. Docker Compose is awesome. And a lot of times we don't need Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry for everything, right? No company, no org is all in on any one kind of platform to do all their things, right? Most companies have a VM somewhere that's running some service. They've also got Kubernetes somewhere that's running some microservices or other, and they've got some Cloud Foundry over here. They've got a blend of things. They've got OpenFaaS or something somewhere, and then of course some engineer like you or I is running some completely other thing in the shadows on a laptop under their desk. I've been there. So we're just going to jump in here. I'm kind of following through the path here. Set up Docker Compose. I want to look at what that's doing. So it's making some directories. It's generating some keys, and it's copying some keys. Okay, that looks safe. And then we say .start.sh. Let's take a look at what that's doing. It's saying, hey, here's the external address. It's saying let's use this external address. I don't think I need to do the I don't think I need to do that because I can use this other Docker instance that I have running. What do you think? Let's see. Start.sh, and then it's going to use this Docker Compose file, and let's see if that Docker Compose, it's probably pulling in some of the local. It's standing up a Docker Concourse DB, which, here's what's going to happen. We're going to find out that, yeah, hey, it's pulling in those volumes. So let's go ahead and let's step through the steps and let's just upgrade it while we're here, right? If we're going to do this, let's pull this application, pull this amazing tool, Spring Cloud Pipelines, and let's upgrade it while we're here. Might as well. So let's do these things. First thing was Docker, the creating of the keys. Set up Docker Compose. Okay, set up Docker Compose. So it's building some keys. Already exists. Yeah, let's override it. Yep, override it. Override it, always. All right, so now we have some keys. If I do git status, we have some stuff. Oh, they're probably ignored as they should be. All right, the next thing, and maybe I've already done this. Maybe I've already gone through this. Let's do this start, and we're gonna give it an IP address. I don't think I have anything else running on 8080, right? Localhost 8080, no. Yeah, we're okay. Let's do, let's just do /start .sh 127.0.0.1. Fantastic. Docker Compose not found. Oh, so now that's how old this is. Where let's go into start.sh. It's no longer docker-compose. That's a different tool. Now it's Docker Compose. -d is the same. I think we're okay. I think everything else in here is okay. So this says root address. What is my IP? Provided external. I don't think that's going to work. let's take a look at, let's run that / what is my IP. That would work. 10.99. Yeah, that would work. So let's just do this. I don't have to pass in. I've updated the Docker Compose. Let's go. So it's gonna say, hey, here's the one that we're using. It's pulling down, all right, a Concourse worker and Concourse web. No space left on device. Okay, so this is a problem here, and I know why that is, because I downloaded the new Llama 3.1 405B, and that's what happened. So let's fix that. Let's do this. Let's jump. Go to the dashboard. Let's give ourselves some grace. And let's remove some stuff. Let's remove this. We can do that for now. We can remove this. Yeah, we're just doing some cleanup on our Docker. And this is the big one. Let's remove that. Get out of here. And I'm going to tell you that my system, when I run into that out of space issue, it causes all sorts of problems. But I can get rid of these things. So let's just do this. Let's just clean it all up. We're going to reclaim 304 gigabytes. Of Docker stuff, and that'll be okay. Let's see if I can get my screens to behave now. The dance that I have to do in order to get things working again is interesting. I have to. Oh, did my Docker desktop just freak out? No, I'm good. That's good. But I'm trying to recover and make my system behave. So what I'm trying to do is I have to quit my camera hub. There's something I've done that has made it so that my camera, my view doesn't work, so I can't see what's going on. And then we try again, and we'll see if it comes up. And I noticed that yesterday it was related to the Docker and the downloading of the massive Llama instance. So we'll see if they are related today. All right, so we're back. We started, or we didn't start because we ran out of space. So we're gonna try this again. But what we're also gonna do is, these images are probably not the latest. So let's just do this. Let's go and figure out. Let's grab a more recent Postgres. Make it official. Make it the latest one. And I'm not going to say just :latest because I want to know which version I'm using, so we can be somewhat consistent. So 16.3 looks to be the latest. So let's change from 9.5 to 16.3, and maybe these all work. I guess we'll see. And then the Concourse image, the Concourse web image. Let's see if we can find the latest Concourse Docker. Wait, no, that's not what we want. We want this Concourse. So we can just go to hub.docker.com, Concourse. Maybe there's like a -u that I'm missing. Bitnami Concourse. Is that what I should be using? Bitnami container image for Concourse is probably what I should be using. This is. We'll come back and look and see if we should maybe be doing that. Let's go to these tags. 7.11.2. This is Concourse. This is the latest 7.11.2. And it's really young. 15. What did I say? 7.11.2. 7.11.2. Fantastic. So this is going to link to our Concourse DB and Artifactory. This one also 7.11.2. This is pulling in the keys that we generated. This all makes sense and looks well and good. Artifactory, build context Docker file Artifactory. So this one is building this Docker file for Artifactory. So from Artifactory OSS, let's see if we can go find a better Artifactory. This one says maintainer, and it's copying in this Artifactory config. So this is why it's building a new one. So let's go take a look and see if you can find Docker bin tray. Is that a thing? JFrog Artifactory OSS. Community. Is there still an image? Go look at Hub. JFrog. Oops. JFrog. JFrog Artifactory OSS. So this is, yeah, not where we want to go. Let's go take a look here. Oh, this is just the scan? Let's look for Artifactory OSS. And these are all just like forks, which makes me think, so maybe we're just gonna stick with this one. And listen, Concourse image is, yeah, a GB. Let's go back and take a look at that. 1.39 GB. Yeah, Concourse is doing a lot, but that's the whole thing, right? That's everything inside of there. But yeah, like, I hear you. Let's circle back and take a look at that. If it becomes an issue, of course. So what we're gonna do is we're not going to pull in, and also, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. And yeah, good day to you. Let's go, and we're just gonna use this. Hopefully this works, and we'll continue. So we're gonna do this start again. Let's see what we get. So now it's pulling the Concourse worker. Concourse DB is the Postgres, and we'll see if it starts up. Concourse worker and web are using the same image. All right, now it is building the Artifactory image. And yeah, in this case, it's going to build it on ARM64 because that's what I'm running on. So I expect that Docker, no, because it's going to pull down the base image, which is probably not ARM64. It said, yeah, here we go. Does not match the detected host platform. Okay, so this is specifically for Concourse Artifactory. Postgres ran just fine. Concourse Artifactory ran, but So is this one, is it the Concourse web? Concourse worker. Yeah, it's the Concourse image. It's not working on ARM64. So let's go take a look. Is there a Concourse? These are all AMD 64. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue, or is it? I'm comfortable on ARM64. Let's see where this is being built from, and let's just take a look. So we're completely off the beaten path of where we wanted to go, but sometimes that's how software is, right? We're going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit. GitHub. Concourse. And it's for local development. It's not used for the official Concourse image. Where is it? Let's see if we can find a Docker file. Not that one. No, where do those exist? Let's see if there's another spot in Concourse. Registry image resource? No. Concourse Bosch release, Docker image resource? No. Concourse Bosch deployment, Concourse chart. Here's the image. Let's see if there's an issue for ARM64. Oh. Here we go. With ARM on the rise and most major cloud providers offering ARM, would it be possible to get ARM Docker built? Any news? Yeah, this would be great. I was trying to run Concourse locally and the worker dies with the stack trace. I had the same issue, and the resolution for this is to migrate Docker Desktop for Windows to Hyper-V. This is only applicable if you use Windows. Thanks. I'm working on a Mac with the M1, same as me. I'm working on Mac with M1. I see the same issue. We're into this recently, and our devs that have Apple Silicon have successfully used this. It would be nice to be able to use the official. So this is. Let's take a look. Concourse CI for the ARM64, updated a year ago, ARM64 architecture. So this says fantastic. So fairly recent, right? We want 7.11 and we're seeing that this works with 7.9. Let's do something interesting. Let's go take a look. Oh, and this is a fork of a fork. Let's go take a look. There's an ARM worker that hasn't been updated in years. We'll build the Docker registry image resource, zip it and put it in the right path. We'll then build the main Docker file, which builds Concourse first and then uses the binaries in a fresh Docker image. While this does not cross-compile, it can be run on ARM machines with Docker. We're digging in. All right, so that's probably not where we want to be. Let's go back here. All right, this repository helps you build both the web and worker components for Concourse CI, pre-built Docker images that can be found on Docker Hub. All right, so I could, here's my options. I could use these images in place of, since I'm on ARM64. Let's see if that holds. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not. I'm gonna do this. And the latest one was like a 7.9.1, which doesn't make me feel amazing, but that's okay. 7.9.1. Let's do that same thing. 9.1. And let's see how things work. Docker compose, Docker compose down. /start. All right, so now I'm running up to the amount of time that I had. So it's pulling a new Concourse worker. It's pulling down this ARM64 version. Vladimir, hello. I'm glad that you're here. I've got an itch, and so it's the Artifactory image that's causing a problem, and that's okay. We'll be all right. But I've got an itch. All I'm doing is I'm digging into Concourse. I'm a big fan of Spring Boot, and I just want my Spring Boot workloads to run. And sometimes I care, sometimes I don't, but I've got a blend. The things that I do, the places I go, it's going to land on Kubernetes. It might land on something called Karifi, which is a Cloud Foundry implementation. It might land on Knative, which allows me to scale to zero, like if I'm doing things on the edge and I need my resources. But yeah, Cloud Foundry, Kubernetes, and then possibly Knative, some flavor in there. So I'm just digging into Concourse pipelines, and I'm digging into an old project called Spring Cloud Pipelines, and I'm gonna just see. I like everything that Spring Cloud Pipelines provided, and I just want to bring it back. I want to remix it and make it available because we've got a really big conference coming up in just about a month, in less than a month. It's called VMware Explorer and Spring One, and it's my focus is it's this conference and the things that I'm doing here. I'm going to make something really cool, and yeah, and I hope you'll check it out. But with that, my time is I'm running out, so I'm going to see if I can make a little bit of progress here, where we're just back in the docks and we're just trying to stand things up. So let's keep going and let's see if we can do this. Spring Cloud Pipelines. And this time we're going to go up one level when Artifactory is running. See, I don't think I have Artifactory running. Docker PS. It's running. Do I have a localhost 8081? Oops. I do. So yeah, it's running. We have a version. But I'm curious why my web and my worker aren't showing up here. Yeah, I'm curious. What is even happening here? Didn't I clean up all these old images a little bit ago? And why am I not seeing anything? I'm looking for like a refresh button. Because there's that. Yeah. The database is up, but the web and the worker are not. Okay. That's okay. Let's keep going. Perhaps I'm not starting them. So let's jump back to our docs, and we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna see if we can deploy this infra. Which is supposed to be in Spring Cloud Pipelines. Spring Cloud Pipelines, Spring Cloud Pipelines, Concourse, tools. Tools, deploy infra. Let's see what happens. Docker running, it's doing things, it's cloning some projects. So this is where things get interesting, right? So it's it's been around for a while. It's bringing in some old versions. So we need to do some updates for sure. So this will be our next step. And I'm beeping. Yeah, I'm getting buzzed. So this is where we need to start. If we need to do this step, we've got to upgrade these things. So what we're going to do next is we're going to dig in to this deploy infra script. And we're going to update that as much as we can. And we're going to try to remix this Spring Cloud Pipeline project. We're going to try to bring it back with some additional things. Again, with the things that we've learned along the way. We want to build those into pipelines that we can just reuse. You can use them. And if you've got a Kubernetes, then the idea is like just, hey, take this and run. And then your Spring Boot apps will just deploy to Kubernetes. And if you're doing it right, your pipelines are done well enough. If you've got Spring Cloud pipelines in place, then the other workloads, all of the other Jenkins clusters, those will then say like, hey, yeah, your pipelines are awesome. Let's go use those. And you can have these pipelines stored in your CI, and keep on updating and maintaining. That's the whole goal. So this says, as a result, both Eureka and Steprunner repos are cloned, built, and uploaded to Artifactory. Okay. I'll agree. So it's done some things, downloaded a bunch of stuff, and of course it's still going to work, even though we're on an ARM64 machine. It's still going, and that's fine. So this is the boring stuff that I went off on a tangent. That's okay. I am scratching an itch. I'm going to continue to scratch this itch, and you're going to get to see the results of all of this itch scratching at VMware Explorer in Spring 1. And you can register now for Spring 1. You can go and register online because it's going to be free. It's going to be live streamed. A lot of it is going to be live streamed, so you'll be able to enjoy that content. And hopefully you'll get to see some of the results, and I'd love to see you there. So with that, I'm going to take a break here. We're making some progress. Stay tuned. Click the buttons and the subscribing things, and come back and we'll do some more of this Spring Cloud Pipelines stuff. Take care. Hope to see you again soon.